Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of season 2 of the Soul Goals. Woo-hoo-hoo. And
Yeah.
look to my side if you are watching this on YouTube. You will see a lovely lady in pink. Hi, Dixie. Welcome.
Hello. Hello. So glad to be here.
Yay, guys. This is Dixie Broadhead. She is from Nashville, a great friend of mine. Dixie's going to be co hosting a lot of these wonderful weeks with me throughout this season. Can't wait for her input. But here's what I want to explain first of all. We had such a great first season, 52 beautiful guests, 52 beautiful stories, really vulnerable stories, people telling all of their heartfelt stuff, their challenges, their obstacles, things about their faith, how they got through the situations and the hardships that they did. And in an effort for us to connect more fully with them, with each other, and to find relatability, because I really think that connection is something that we all really need in our lives, depending upon where you are at any given point in time. So last year was so wonderful. It changed me in many ways. I'm so thankful for that time with all of those beautiful guests and their sharing. So now we're going to take the platform in a little bit different direction. We're going to still work to get to your soul goals in a way that gives you a little bit of some elbow grease. But Dixie and I are going to do some of that hard work up front for you so that you understand what these exercises are. So basically, what's going to happen is each week, Dixie and I are going to embark on I guess a personal growth exercise. Would you say that's right? Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're going to embark on some kind of wonderful personal growth exercise. And we're going to come back and report on the podcast about how it went for us, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we are old enough in our skin to be super honest about what we feel. And I feel like we're both pretty vulnerable individuals and willing to just kind of lay it out there.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. So I couldn't think of anybody better than this wonderful person to
Oh,
host this with me, because Dixie has been in my life in and out. Like, she's one of those friends that you meet and then you're like, I haven't seen her for 3 years. And then you run into her and you're like, oh my God. You're just like a home friend. You know what I'm saying? Like a home
I
based friend.
love that. I love that. A home friend. I love that. I
Yeah.
feel the
Yeah.
same. So
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's true. I think we met through volleyball, didn't we?
we sure did. Yeah. Our
Gosh.
girls playing volleyball together. So, and I think your youngest daughter, she was a tiny little thing and now she's getting all grown up. So,
I know. Like, what do they say in the South? Put a brick on their head so that they don't grow.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. She's a senior. I can't believe it. We'll be empty nesters. Like, I mean, you've been empty nesters for a couple of years now, or a few years actually.
Yeah, ish. Empty nesters ish. They always come and go, but yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
my oldest is he's at Belmont and
Okay.
he just Mark Joseph just and we found out yesterday he just got accepted into the micro masters at MIT.
Oh,
So isn't that
what?
crazy? So he'll be able to complete the first year of his master's while he's doing his undergrad. That's why they call it micro. So when he completes that, he can go on and finish at MIT once he graduates from Belmont. So that was awesome news yesterday. So yay, I'm
That's a
so proud of
big
him.
deal.
And my daughter just she graduates from Vanguard University out in Costa Mesa, California, and she graduates in December. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I
so
got
it's crazy.
chills.
I
Yeah.
keep saying they're almost off the payroll, but I'm not sure. Somebody told me that's much older and wiser than me that they really never get off the
Yes.
payroll.
And
So,
I still have friends that have little ones, and I have a good friend around the corner from where I live that's getting ready to have her 3rd baby. So, like,
yeah.
they are in the thick of it, and their oldest is like 6. And she's like, I mean, I can't wait till I'm at a point where you guys or we're at where you guys are. And I'm like, it doesn't change. I think it just becomes more stressful on certain points, right?
Completely agree. I had a girl tell me, just tell me it gets easier. And I said, well, I I can't tell you it gets easier. It's
Mhm.
different. I said, right now it's so physically demanding for you. You're
Yeah.
tired all the time. You're running them here and there. You're, doing all the things to set them up for success and train them up right. Then they become adultish and get out of your house. And then the emotional stress is what it's crazy how different it is, but
Yeah.
it's still you never stop being a mom and worrying about where they are and how they're doing and how they're turning out and all the things. It's just,
Absolutely.
I said, I'm sorry, I can't tell you it gets easier.
I wish I could, but I
I wish
can't.
I could, but I can't. So that'd be just cruel of me to even say that. So
Gosh.
it's fun
So
though. Adult children are fun.
yes. Oh, they're so fun. They're so
Yeah,
fun.
I love
I
having relationships with them. That's the surprise I did not see coming.
yeah, you know what?
Mhm.
It's interesting. Yeah, my oldest will be graduating with her undergrad next May of
Yeah.
25,
Mhm.
and, plans to go to law school,
That's
which
so exciting.
yeah, we have no idea where she's gonna be. She's just
Mhm.
applying now. So, again, I think back to when I was 21 and all those times when you go, "I have the world at my hands, basically. I don't have anything tying me down right now. I
Mhm.
can pick up
Right.
and go anywhere." I mean, and then the like you said, the relationships that adult relationship that friendship that you forge with your kids once they hit that certain age, it is really cool.
It is. It's so fun. I wouldn't trade that for anything. I feel like that's even though it's emotionally different and it's draining because you want them to succeed so bad and
Mm,
you want their dreams to come true so much, that friendship is that you get to have with them is the best gift ever. So for
yes.
sure.
Amen, sister. Mic drop number 1, which I'm
That's
sure there'll be plenty of those. All
right.
right. So for week number 1, when I called Dixie about this, I said, "Hey, what do you think about week number 1? Let's do the old standard pay it forward," which I feel like our society does this a lot, this pay it forward. I think it's
Mhm.
becoming more of a widespread kind of thing that we do. So I did a handful of different things last week. I can't wait to share how did you feel about it?
Oh, I
Paying it
thought it was
forward.
great. I had one other time in my life. I feel like with paying it forward, I feel like that's kind of baked into my personality anyway.
Mhm.
I like doing that. I like making people, feel happy and valued and seen and all of that. But 2 years ago I did a 75 hard year, like the live 75 hard live year. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah.
Um and the third phase is every single day you had to do a random act of kindness every day for 30 days.
Oh,
And
wow.
that totally changed my perspective. And I said, this is something that I'm taking with me for
Mm.
the
Mhm.
rest of my life because you feel good, but it's also fun to do it like incognito too, where people don't know they're being served, if you will. So,
Yes. Yeah, I love that too
yeah.
because it's just that's happened to me before, and, like, I've been gifted something,
Hmm.
and I don't know who it was, and
Hmm.
you're right. It's for when we give of ourselves, we are benefited just as much as the ones that are receiving it. I think that's the cool thing about all of it, and I know everybody that's listening has probably done a random act of kindness at some point, if
Hmm.
not multiple ones like you're talking about. But I think it's invaluable to really realize that sometimes it's hard for us to give of ourselves, like to accept. It's easier for us to give than it is to
Hmm.
accept. Like if you go back to what you're talking about, like with your kids, it's that deal of like we feel it more a lot of times than they do. Like we feel it more for them.
Hmm.
So when I think we give of our stuff and give of our time and give of our attributes and our gifts, we can actually feel that probably more than the people that are receiving it. So I think it's a win-win all the way
Oh,
around.
absolutely. And I encourage people to, if something in your gut is saying, do this, do it. Just do it. Don't question it.
Yes. Yes.
And it may feel weird and it may feel odd at the moment, but if you can't get away from it, don't walk away from it. You know,
Right.
just
I
go.
love that.
Hmm.
Yeah, trusting that gut for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So tell me what you did.
So one of mine just happened, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is going to work out perfect." I work in a restaurant, and we have a big like to go area. Like it's a lot of our business is to go,
Mhm.
and there's businesses on either side of us too. And one of the gentlemen came into our to go area and placed an order. He was like, "I'll be right back. I've just got to run." So he ran back over to his business and his food came out and he wasn't there. He was still down the street. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I get to take him his food. I'm so excited."
Oh.
And so I walked in the store and he said, "You walked this food over here to me?" I said, "Yes, sir, I did. I figured you got busy." And he
Oh.
said, "Oh my gosh, I actually forgot about it." And so I said, "Well, now you don't have to. You can't have cold food. You got to have dinner."
Oh.
And so he was so excited. He was so shocked. And I was like, you're just next door. Like I didn't feel like that was a big deal.
Yeah.
But he was so like taken back. Like, I can't believe you did that. And I was like, of
Yeah.
course. So that
Yeah.
was fun to
I
see.
don't know how to think about that too. If you think like he was shocked about it because I think a lot of times we feel like, "Oh my gosh, would somebody why is somebody doing this for me?" Or I don't
Mhm.
feel like I'm valuable enough to have this done for me, or like where that shock kind of comes from, I wonder.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause when people just randomly do something for me, I'm like, whoa, what?
Mhm.
That's so nice of you. So
Mhm.
he was excited. It was fun. That
Oh,
was
I
just a
love it.
fun one. Yeah.
I love it. Well, I did, one of the things that I did was out of town with my daughter this past weekend, and we were at a Starbucks drive-through. So, like, it's the standard thing, you pay for the car
Mhm.
behind you, right?
Yeah.
And so, I pull up to the drive-through line, and I told my daughter before I get to the window, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna pay for the vehicle behind me," and it happened to be the same vehicle that I drive, which
Oh,
was
that's
really
funny.
funny. It just pulled up and it was like she's like, "Oh my god, that's the same car that you drive when we're home." I was like, "Yeah." Only it was, like, souped up. It was, like, jacked up on the tires were big, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
this kind of this big gruff dude sitting in the seat, like, in this big old like I said, jacked up vehicle.
Yeah.
And, I was going to put the window up, and she's like, "Keep the window down. Let's see what he orders. Like, I wanna hear what he orders." Like, you like,
Yeah. You're
look
sneaky.
yeah, well, you look at somebody like that, and I think, "Oh, this dude's gonna order, like, a black coffee with" order
Two
a
double
steak,
shots of
green matcha tea
espresso
with
or whatever.
yeah, he's no, a green matcha tea with, like, all these little soft things with it. And I'm
Right.
like, "Well, that totally didn't fit your personality," but that
Right.
again, there's me judging, right? But I love that I get to the window and I paid for our order, and then I was like, "Hey, throw me dudes behind on that order
Mhm.
too." So, yeah, it's the old standard thing, and I sometimes think, somewhere along the line, I think I saw an Instagram story, it's probably been over a year or so ago, where they were talking about keeping it going. It had been
Oh,
going,
yeah.
like, all day. Like, people have been paying it forward all day.
Yeah, that's crazy. That happened to me at I was in Starbucks line, gosh, years ago, and the guy said, "The person in front of you paid for your coffee." And I was like, "Well, let me pay for the person behind me then."
Yeah.
And he said, and he had told me that I was it had been going for like 10 or 12 cars. That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Uh-huh.
Well, see, then that gives me, like, this really renewed sense of hope and faith that we are really at our truest sense of our beings, we are really a giving community and a um, giving beings, if you will.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
that's really innate in us, and that's really what we're here to do is support and love on other people and offer it when you can. I mean, like, if you don't have any money in your pocket and you know you're not gonna
Right.
do that, but it also doesn't have to be about that. I remember my husband will tell this story, and he's been coaching middle school football and high school football for, I don't know, like 25 or 26 years now.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he started doing that at a middle school that was connected to a church that he went to because he couldn't afford to give money in the plate each week
Mhm.
when he went
Mhm.
to church on Sunday. So he's like, "I'm just gonna give of my time." And he didn't get paid to do it. He doesn't get paid to do it.
Mhm.
Does it volunteers, and it's something that has stuck with him, and he's been like, "I yeah, this is important to me." And that's how that started because he didn't have money to give, but he's like,
Mhm.
"I can give my time."
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
just as important. So, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely, and all the lives he probably touched as a result of giving his
We can
time.
go out anywhere, and I like anywhere in the Nashville area. If we go out to dinner someplace, undoubtedly he runs into either a parent, an old coach, a current coach, an old player. Um, Now his players are all getting married and having babies. Like when he gets younger,
Right,
he's like, okay, so now I feel really, really old, but hey.
right,
But it's just a testament to how that carries on. It carries
it
on for
does,
sure. Yeah.
it does.
What else did you do?
One day I, came to work early, I was opening, and I picked up garbage around our like, people are just they don't think about littering, and
Mhm.
I thought, "I'm just gonna pick up what people have left out, so it just looks nice
Yeah.
for people coming in,"
Yep.
I don't know. I don't want to go somewhere and pull in anywhere, and then there'd just be garbage in the parking lot. I don't
Yeah.
like that. But
Well, you think I don't think about that too. Like that's probably not on everybody's forefront of their brain, but I think too, like my family always laughs at me. I said, I don't want to leave dishes in the sink before I go to bed because
Mhm.
it just makes me feel like when I get up, I see a fresh countertop and a fresh sink. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's so nice. We got the window with your coffee and everything's clean. Yeah, love
yeah.
it, love it. I
And I'll
did
take
that
it another
after.
step well, I'll take it another step further real quick.
Yeah.
That I've had a therapist tell me one time that, like, when you feel inner chaos, usually your exterior chaos is what's conflicting, the 2 things. Like, so when you feel
Mhm.
anxious, it's because you have this exterior, chaos going around you, like, disorganization or just not ready. It can be, like, not an ongoing like, not something that, "Hey, I just had a rough day at work. I gotta throw my bag down and I'm gonna go to bed."
Oh, yeah.
But, like, an ongoing basis where you just don't attend to it, or like what you're talking about,
Mhm.
people that just aren't mindful of just putting their trash up, so
Yes, and I learned that on again, not to reference that 75 Hard again, but something I learned from other people in that community when they go on walks, like on the greenway or whatever, I just took a bag and would just pick up trash along the greenway just to make it nice, and keep it nice. So, yeah.
yes, I keep it nice for sure.
Yeah.
Yay. Last week also, my mother-in-law needed to go to the doctor, and she's 92 years young. Yeah.
92. I love it.
It's crazy in and of itself, right? And, she lives with our relatives in Chapel Hill, which is probably from where we live, or at least an hour drive,
Mhm.
and everybody in the family that normally would take her was not available for one reason or another, and I had to kind of rework my day to be able to do it, and, those times when you're like, "Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with this? Oh my gosh, this is an appointment that I had scheduled that I need to redo," but it's really important that she goes to this appointment,
Mhm.
and so I begrudgingly did all that. Begrudgingly drove the hour. I got there and she wasn't quite ready to go, and I sat down and I just looked around and I went, "Okay, all right, what am I here for? I'm here to spend time with her. I'm here to be with her. I'm here to attend her, and I'm gonna be present with her, and this is what's meaningful for me." And it when I really stopped myself from being in my monkey mind about what it was that I was having to I guess, shift around in my schedule, and being very present, very deliberate about that, everything just kind of slowed down and everything just kind of fell more into place. So we
Mhm.
were able to get to the doctor. We were able to go to lunch together, which is now turning into something that we're going to do once a week, which is going to be fun
Oh,
because,
that's nice.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it was just, she's 92,
Mhm.
she's had a
Mhm.
great, beautiful life. And if I had not had that opportunity to do that, I probably would not have made that decision basically to spend that extra time with her, which I know I will totally enjoy, and I'll be able to
Oh,
look
for
back at and
sure.
go, "I'm glad that I did."
Oh, yeah,
Mm,
and have those memories. That's really great.
mhm.
That's really
Yeah,
cool. So,
yeah,
yes, I love that. Well, my last one, I'll try not to get emotional. I did not see this one coming. I didn't choose it. It just happened in the moment. I was at the grocery store and I was in the self-check and there was a gentleman who was in the wheelchair basket, got the basket on the front, motorized
yeah,
chair. And
yeah,
he had a caregiver. Obviously, it was a caregiver with him.
yeah,
I was checking out. They were kind of behind me checking out, and they were having trouble
mhm,
checking out. And he was getting super agitated, and it appeared to be some sort of cognitive issue that he had.
right,
Um, and she was doing her best, and he couldn't remember his PIN number, and he was getting just super frustrated. And the girl came over and said, I'll take care of it. Just go ahead and bag his groceries and I'll send you to customer service. Because there was a line forming and they were trying to help him.
yeah,
So they went over to customer service. I kept checking out and I just could not stop. I mean, I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I asked the lady who was over the self-check, I said, is everything okay? Like, is he okay? And she said, well, he can't remember his PIN number. He was getting super agitated. So I just sent him to customer service and customer service will deal with him. And I was like, okay. And so I kind of snuck behind him. They never saw me. And I snuck behind him and I asked the manager, I was like, what is happening? And he was super agitated. At this point, he was like, this is ridiculous because he couldn't remember. He was angry because he couldn't remember.
right,
And he started using some profanity.
mhm,
And I looked at her and I said, just let him go. I'll pay for his groceries. Just let him go.
Yeah.
And so the manager came over and they told the caregiver was getting flustered too. And so she just leaned over and they went, "Okay, you're good. It worked. You're good to go." And so they just left. And
Yeah.
then I paid for his groceries and because I couldn't. It just broke my heart. I was it just I felt so strongly for him and that little caregiver. She was probably late 20s. She
Mm,
wasn't sure what to do with everything that was happening. And
right.
I got home and I told my husband, I said, "Okay, so when you see this charge at Kroger, I bought this man's groceries."
Yeah.
And he was like, "That's fine." I mean, he doesn't my husband is just generous by nature. He's such a
Right.
giver by nature. He would give you the last shirt off of his back
Mm.
and not blink an eye. So I knew it wasn't a situation of like, "Oh, what's he gonna say?" But I came in, I was like, "So when you see this, just know
Yeah.
this is what I did." And I got in the car and I watched him. I purposely just hung back and I just watched him get in the car. I don't know. My heart just, I still am thinking about him a week late, a week later. It's crazy. I
Yeah.
can't get him off my mind. So yeah.
Well, I just love that you had the awareness to stick behind and kind of just make sure everything was okay too. Because I
That's why I
think a
said
lot of times.
earlier, if it's in your gut, just do
Yeah,
it.
that's what you said.
Just do it. Just don't even question it. If I mean, I told my husband too. I said I was almost physically like nauseous
Oh,
watching it play out, and I said I can't. I will not be able to go through the rest of this day if I don't do something.
yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
Dixie,
And
that's
so it
beautiful.
was. So yeah, I just when you feel it or something feels, if you're feeling really strong, I mean, just follow through. I mean,
Yeah,
what it's not gonna, in the long run, I always look at things and I think, okay, is this gonna matter for me 5 years from now?
oh,
Is
yes.
is it gonna matter 2 years from now? Is it gonna matter 2 weeks from now? That's gonna affect my anxiety level over it. So this
Right,
amount of money 5 years from now, it's not even gonna be an issue. And I'm not gonna think about that.
right.
So it shouldn't be an issue right now. Just do it. So,
Oh,
you know.
I love, first of all, again, I love that you hung back and that you had that awareness, but I really, really love that thought process that you said. It's like, "Hey, is this gonna affect my life in a negative way? Am I going to be thinking about this 5 years from now? Is it going to affect the way I live and what I'm doing?" And I think if we can stop ourselves when we have that opportunity to help other people,
Mhm,
really go with that line of questioning, I think that really changes our projector, our perspective and our trajectory on what it is that we're going to do. And
mhm,
maybe it
mhm,
kind of gives us pause to, all right, take a deep breath. It's not that big of a deal, but it's a huge deal for someone else. And
mhm.
it's easy for me to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And my hope was the gentleman who was actually being cared for, I mean, 30 minutes later probably didn't even remember that he couldn't remember his PIN number.
Yeah.
But the his caretaker, I thought if she can feel like, "Oh, okay, somebody sees me. I'm seen," you
Right.
know. And she didn't, and then you could see her just kind of you could see her body language just relax.
Yeah.
And I thought that right there, that's what it's all about. And I
Mm.
just yeah, I was like, I did it really quietly. I didn't want anybody to see me. I did not want to make a big deal about it. And but in the moment, because I didn't want the man to get even more agitated. So
Right.
that's why I hung back. But then I thought when I saw her body language change, I was like, he has to eat. He can't be hungry.
Yeah.
And then she needs she needs a minute to realize, okay, we're okay, we're okay, we're okay.
Yes, yes, but yes, I can imagine. I was just thinking about the gentleman, but then, like, when you brought her back up, I mean, think that those sidebar people that we rely on in those situations,
Mhm.
like, that family is probably relying on her to take care of their loved one
Mhm.
for them. Yeah, I mean, like, what stress that can put on a family, what stress that can put on the caretaker as a whole.
Mhm.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
can give them that breathing room, I think it's great. Gosh.
Yeah, so that was my third one. So
Oh, Dixie, I love that. I wanna, like, pose a question and kinda see what you think about it. Like, how do we limit ourselves from paying it forward when we have that opportunity? Like, what is it you think that causes us to not do it when we see it and we have that opportunity? I mean, just kind of popped in my brain there because I think sometimes for me, I just get I'm such a um, tunnel vision when I'm on a path or on a goal or some kind of orientation. It's like, okay, this is where I'm going, and I'm putting my head down and I'm going straight to it. And
Mhm.
I'm not going to let anything deter me. And sometimes I'm like, it's great, but sometimes you have to be able to open up those blinders and work with spontaneity and work with um, the things that pop up along the way. Obviously, life is not just that smooth tunnel. So,
Yeah.
just curious what your thoughts are. What do you think limits people from
I
doing that?
just I don't think people pay attention.
Oh,
I don't think they pay attention. I think they're so we I mean, I'm not saying they, there's not
yes.
us and them, it's we. I
Mhm.
think we get so consumed with our own lives, the cares that we're carrying around, we
Yeah,
just don't pay attention.
yeah.
And when you pay attention, you get so much out of it. It could just be, it doesn't have to be buying somebody's groceries.
Mhm.
It could just be a simple conversation. You know, there
Right.
was a lady in the store years ago. She had two twin littles. They were like 2 or 3, and they were, wanting this, kind of this, kind of this. And they were like, one was out of the buggy and one was in the buggy, and
Yeah.
or the cart. I don't know, buggy. That's so
Wait, do you call it
Mississippi.
buggy or a
I
cart?
do a buggy. So I grew up calling it a buggy. But now when I'm talking to you, I'm like, should I have said just grocery cart? I don't even know. But
Wait, wait,
um
wait. Wait. Are you're from the South, like
I am.
South.
I'm from Mississippi originally.
So
Yeah.
it's
So
a you can call it a buggy all day long.
we called it buggies. And I'll say that sometimes some people are like, "What?" I'm like, "A grocery cart. It's a buggy." So, but she had
Okay,
one
sorry.
in and well, no, one in and one out, and she was so overwhelmed. You could tell she was just tired. And I said to her, I said, "Your girls are absolutely beautiful." And she went, "My girls are driving me crazy." And I said, "No, they're just I said, "How old are they?" And she said, "They're almost 3." And
Yeah.
I said, "They're fantastic. They're behaving like they're almost 3. That's a beautiful
Yes.
thing."
Yeah. Yes, it's behaving their age, but, like,
Right.
when we're caught up in it, that awareness, I think you that's a really great thing that you said.
Mhm.
I can appreciate that. We don't pay attention.
We don't pay attention, or we just
Mhm.
ignore. We just walk by and like, I can't right now because there's so much going on in us. But I think that when you pay attention and when you act on it, I mean, it could be a simple conversation. It could just be a smile. You might be the first person that smiled at somebody
Ah,
that day. You never know. We don't know what other people are going through.
mhm.
I feel like people are putting their best face forward in public. And, so if that's your best face forward,
Yeah.
then what are you dealing with?
Right,
So
we just don't know. You have no
mhm,
idea the shoes, and that's just such an old adage too, like, you don't know the shoes that everybody's walking in, and I think that's when we are in that place where we're that like I was talking about that tunnel vision when I get like this and I don't wanna open up. When I get like that, it just it does not help me to grow as a person and me
mhm,
to be more aware and to understand that, other people have stuff going on too, it's not just me, so that's what it's I think it's always a work in progress about being
mhm.
aware and being, like, I just love it, paying attention.
Yeah, and I'm not
Mhm.
perfect at it. I just, but I love that you called the segment "Paying It Forward" instead of "Random Acts of Kindness," because I don't think we should be random with being kind.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I love that you mentioned paying it forward, because I
Oh,
think we should always be kind. I don't think that should be random at all, you
yeah,
know?
I
So,
agree.
yeah.
Oh, thank you for that, Dixie.
Oh,
Wow, that's so
yeah.
sweet. Yeah. Okay, well, pay it forward we did.
We did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. I love it. And so, with that being said, what are our takeaways from this? I think my biggest takeaway is just to continue to be aware, continue to be present, and continue to pay attention and
Mhm,
really do my best. And also understand, too, that like 2 minutes isn't going to make a difference, make or break in my schedule of the day, especially if I'm really busy. Sometimes it gives me the break that I need, just enough to be able to get back into what it is that I need with a fresh pair of eyes and a fresh mind.
mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I 100% agree. Paying
Yay.
attention. That's where it's at.
Yes, pay attention, pay it forward, y'all. And until next week, I'm Dawn with my lovely friend
Dixie.
There she is. There she is. We'll see you guys next week with another fun growth exercise, and we will report back to you on how that one goes. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your week, a great rest of your day. We'll talk again soon.
Bye.